Yeah, well, I mean, it's bad enough that we have two guards who were shot, but Trump orders 500 National Guards to troop to DC. 500, that's not enough.
Trump is
500
now
is not
sending
enough.
hundreds of more National Guard
All
members
right.
to patrol near the White House following that deadly shooting in D.C. earlier this week.
Madeline Rivera joins us live in Washington with the latest. Good morning, Madeline.
Good morning. Despite legal challenges, the president is doubling down on
Is that
the
better?
National Guard deployment in D.C. In fact, we might even see local police be paired with the troops, at least in the short term. The suspect, 29-year-old.
Hey, at least the police will be willing to help this time. Because in like Chicago, they weren't willing to help or like do shit. It was crazy.
Ramanullah Lakhanwal, an Afghan national, is facing first-degree murder for the death of 20-year-old Sarah Beckstrom, as 24-year-old Andrew Wolf fights for his life. The day
Damn.
before this shooting on Wednesday, DHS says another Afghan national was arrested after posting a video of himself
Another
on
one?
TikTok, indicating.
Oh, what? There's two of them. You said the first guy who was also Afghan was also CIA informant. What? He was here through sanction. Get him out. What the fuck are we doing?
He was building a bomb with the intent of targeting the Fort Worth, Texas area. Court records show Mohammed Dawood Alokozeh is charged at the state level with making a terroristic threat.
Charged?
According to DHS, he also came to the U.S. as part of Operation Allies Welcome, the same program under which Lakhanwal was admitted to the U.S. On September 7, 2022, Alokozeh was admitted as a lawful permanent resident. ICE has lodged a detainee on him. The Trump administration has been slamming the Biden administration for the vetting standards they use to welcome thousands of
Enemies among U.S. 5,000 Afghans with national shit. Get them out, bro. They don't even like the U.S. They like the benefits of the U.S., but they don't like the U.S. itself. Like, why would you even let these people in to begin with? Why would you want to put your own people at risk to begin with? We don't have any obligation to let these people in. It's just like we don't owe them anything now. Like the taxpayers don't owe them anything. Like why are they here?
Of Afghan refugees during the Afghanistan withdrawal. The New York Post, now reporting data from DHS, shows more than 5,000 Afghan migrants were flagged on national security grounds from Operation Allies Welcome. 956 had public safety concerns.
No Allies Welcome.
870.
Biden administration's Operation Allies Welcome program. It's not a ally welcome program. That is a terrorist welcome program. All right, he let in all these terrorists. 88,000 arrived on the program. 5,000 flagged for security concerns. You let these people in anyway? 956 had public safety concerns. 876 flagged for fraud. Oh my god, dude. What are you doing? This is our government. Our government's killing us.
6 had been flagged for fraud. There have been several audits of the screening process for Operation Allies Welcome. A report from the Justice Department in June showed the FBI and other U.S. agencies had done a good job flagging threats, but a DHS report in 2022 found the agency did not always have the critical information to screen, vet, or inspect the evacuees. Charlie, Rachel, and Griff.
She has a crazy jawline. It's a crazy jawline.
Thank you, Madeline.
Thanks.
Well, Griff, you had an interesting interview with Chad Robichaux, who is a Marine veteran who led some of these rescues during the withdrawal from Afghanistan. Here's what he had to say about unvetted Afghanis.
And during the time of evacuations, we were watching the U.S. military, forced by Joe Biden. I have to give credit. Our service members did an amazing job there, but forced by Biden's White House to put unvetted, undocumented Afghans on planes and fly them straight to the United States and let them loose in the interior of the country.
What?
80 to 100 Afghans on planes, White House, to put unvetted, undocumented Afghans on planes and fly them straight to the United States and let them loose in the interior of the country. 80 to 100,000 of them. And when that happened, I knew immediately, I mean, it can't go well. If you're an Afghan and you gave 10 years of your life to fight alongside the Americans, and now the rug was pulled underneath you, we abandoned our allies there. We left the most strategic place in the globe, Afghanistan, between Iraq, Iran, Russia, and China.
No, we shouldn't even be there. Like, Like, we spent 20, 25 years there. We didn't do shit. The only thing that we did was bury our own. That's the only thing we did.
The Taliban to take over their women, their children. So maybe, and I'm certainly not giving an excuse for an Afghan that's here in America, but maybe they're here. They feel so betrayed by what the Biden administration did.
Yeah. Well, and as we
Wait. So now they're here undocumented, not being traced, not being kept track of, just doing whatever the fuck they want, building bombs, killing our own people on our own land, people who never had anything to do with their personal life. That would be like some random dude from Canada that I had never anything to do with just robbing me because I just happened to be there. Some shit like that. That's crazy. That's ridiculous.
we were talking about on the couch during the commercial break, this particular man who murdered these National Guardsmen was trained by the CIA and onto a kill squad. We brought them over. Very interesting what he said, because I still remember Congressman.
What? Hold on.
This particular man who murdered these National Guardsmen was trained by the CIA and onto a kill squad. We brought them over.
Okay. We need to hold the CIA accountable for this shit. We need to find out whoever. Actually, you know what? Just arrest them all. Anyone who had anything to do with the operations in the Middle East, in the CIA or the government, just arrest them all. Okay? I don't care if they had nothing to do with it or not. Just arrest them. Put them in federal prison. Do something. This shit's ridiculous. For taking all these people, training them to be who's an informant. It doesn't matter if it's an informant. You don't have to be an informant. If you had anything to do with the CIA and you're here killing us, not being a productive member of our society, I don't want you here. Nobody wants you here.
Very interesting what he said, because I still remember Congressman Tom Tiffany from Wisconsin was out front on this issue during that period of time when people were a little nervous to say anything because they were afraid they might be called racist if they did. But he was like, this is a bad idea. You guys are bringing all these unvetted people.
Yes.
They're coming on to military bases, in his case in Wisconsin. They're not culturally assimilating. It's very complicated to do this. They were coming in and out of bases. And he said, you know what? Vet them in a third country. Send them to Qatar. Send them to Turkey. Spend 2 years vetting to make sure that.
You won't, because I don't think Turkey has any of this shit. Saudi Arabia doesn't have any of this shit because neither of those countries want third world people in theirs. Like, it's obvious. It's like it's obvious why they are a third world country is because all they do is destroy and kill each other.
These are people that we actually want in our country, that they don't have.
Look at that. That dude has a fucking rifle. That dude has a rifle. So not only are they coming here, but they're also getting what looks like some of our military equipment. So are we arming the Taliban and fucking replacing the Taliban with the Taliban?
Mental illness that they don't have.
He passed out sticks?
Troubling terrorist ties. That would have been the response.
Look, there's another one right there. Oh, you can't see it. Yeah, right above it.
Thing to do, but instead we brought them here. And in the case of this guy, Charlie, we're finding out we've been paying for his social services, God knows for how long. I mean, he's on all kinds of government assistance with his 5 children. And then he does this to two of our brave National Guardsmen.
Yeah, every bit of it was predictable, and there were a lot of people.
It doesn't. It is predictable because it's what these people do. Okay, they come from a inferior culture. They do. Like, one of the things that makes me believe that is that how you treat your women in your culture makes me believe that your culture is inferior because you're just a fucking you're a barbarian. You are a barbarian. Okay.
That were saying at the time, including
Tom Tiffany.
Yeah, including all of us who and whatever you get called racist about the stupidest things these days sometimes.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was all predictable. We knew this was the sort of thing that was going to happen when you transplant tens of thousands of people from Afghanistan into the United States, especially if their background, what they've been vetted for is to become a contract killer for the CIA. You think that you think that might be a recipe for disaster?
Yeah.
Guys, let's go to the Middle East when they're already killing each other. Let's make a population. Okay, let's grab a population of the Afghans, make them killers, and then bring them home. Okay, they deserve it. That shit's gonna get us killed. It was like, why would you want to train a bunch of Afghans to kill and then bring them back home? Leave them over there. That's their home. That's where they belong.
You know, the saddest part of this is when I've interviewed ICE directors, present and past, or Border Patrol chiefs, present and past, you ask all of them, what keeps you up at night? And this is exactly what they say keeps you up at night, whether it was the southern border or, in this case, the massive debacle of the Afghanistan withdrawal that led to Operation Allies Welcome. We've known this. We've known this was coming. A DHS report I cited, the Inspector General in 2022 said that a large, vast swath of the Afghans brought here had incomplete, inaccurate, or missing information on the vetting process. Then we find out this latest from Senator Chuck Grassley that was told that there's 5,000 plus that have really serious.
You know, the other thing is too is they were probably importing these people because, like, I think Trump made a law to have ID to vote. I think before they were importing all these people to get a voter base. So now since Trump passed a law saying that you have to have an ID to vote, which I generally think that creates it doesn't really create a new problem. I think it creates more issues to a already existing problem. Voter ID fraud and identity theft in general. I think it might be worse now than it was 5 or 3 years ago. I think just last year you were able to vote without an ID. Now you can't. So now you probably have all these people trying to get IDs and so they could do this and that. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Terror potential threats of this population of more than 80,000 that were brought. But it's not just the Afghans. It's everyone else from all these other countries that came across under the Biden administration. And that's why, you know, President Trump and the administration is taking a little bit of criticism for now re-vetting and re-scrutinizing this. But
which has to be done.
Nothing could be more important.
It has to be done. And by the way, can I just say this before we move on to the next story?
What?
A lot of these things, including what happened at the southern border, which also brought over known and unknown terrorists. We saw massive
from other places, not even in Central America.
Exactly. But a lot of this is done under the guise of compassion. It is not compassionate to take people who lived in little villages that are, I mean, this is beyond third world. This is like, you know,
it's a shit world. All right. I don't like some people say that it's through compassion. Sure, it could be through compassion. I think the lower class, the middle class, and some people from the upper class may actually view it as compassion, but I think like the elites, like people in the government, I genuinely believe they know it's not good. I believe they know that it's bad, but they're profiting off of it. And one of the pros of profiting off of it is that they don't have to suffer the consequences of their actions because it's not going to affect their daily lives. Also, too, it's all the older people doing this shit. I'm not saying younger people don't do it. I mean, like, there are younger people doing this, but nowhere near on the scale like the older people. It genuinely seems like that it's mostly the elder eating the young as they pull up the ladder, letting all these people in to replace them. For what? Just so you can save a couple bucks? Like, it's insane.
Pre-civilization kind of conditions in many cases. And then say, I'm going to plop you into Wisconsin or Washington or New York City, and you're going to be just fine.
Yeah.
It's not compassionate. Much better to take them to Turkey, to Qatar, to something that has some sort of cultural familiarity to them. We put
No, people, you guys need. I don't know why they keep saying take them to Turkey or Qatar. Just send them back to the country of origin. Qatar is not going to take them. The Saudi Arabia is not going to take them. The United Emirates, or whatever the name are, they're not going to take them. And it's for very good reason, because they know these are bad actors. They know they're not going to contribute to their society. If that was the case, then they would take them in, but they don't, because they know better than that. Like, I don't like what's the thought process behind it? You guys know this. Why you guys keep saying to send them to Qatar? Qatar doesn't want them. Nobody wants them. That's why they're here.
them in these situations. It's not compassionate to them, and it's dangerous to our citizens.
Well, and to your point, Rachel, actually, the more you sort of walk that out, you have individuals like this who clearly have I mean, we don't know the motive of Ramanullah Lakhanwal. We're going to find out with the investigation, the individual that shot the guardsman. But yet they hate the country. They hate America. They're carrying out this heinous ambush attack. But do they hate the benefits they were given?
No.
The opportunity of a second life?
Yeah, and of course, taxpayers paid for every bit of it. You paid for everything that's going on now. You paid for sending the CIA over there to
train
recruit these guys. They sent over, literally.
He's got like I'm working 50, 60 hours a week just for my government to grab some national terrorists, to train them how to kill people and build bombs, and just for them to bring them home. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, if that's all the CIA is doing, I want the CIA gone. I want the CIA dismantled. I want everyone who's the head of CIA, I want people who are in charge of CIA to be upheld to the fullest extent of the law. Okay? I want these people arrested.
Pallets, pallets full of cash that were used to buy off these people. You paid for every bit of it. And you want to know why?
We're still sending money to Afghanistan?
Oh yeah, of course we are.
I'm sure we are.
And then after 20 years, it turns out it's like, okay, never mind. We're gonna just pull everybody out.
Yeah.
And if you want to know why, in particular, on Republican voters became radicalized against wars and against, say, getting involved in.
I wouldn't really say that the Republicans are really like against the war, right? Like, I'm sure there are some that are like for the war, as long as there's no boots on the ground. I think when there's boots on the ground, that's kind of when it gets like, all right, maybe you guys are going too far. But I think if it's just bombings, drone strikes, and naval artillery bombardments, I think that's fine. Like, I don't think people would have much of an issue with that. But I do think people would have an issue with boots on the ground operations for sure.
Ukraine. This is why, because of the exhaustion, and also because we spent all of this money on this, but also those same voters who turned and began supporting Donald Trump when he started calling out some of this military intervention. It's because those same voters are also the people whose brothers and sons and fathers went over and fought in these wars and came home broken. Because of those wars. And, it's been the most radical, fascinating political.
No, it sucks too, because our government failed us on this level in so many ways. Not only did they fail overseas, but they also failed here. Because now we have our own people here being killed. We have our own National Guards being killed on American soil, which should never happen. We should never have any active member duty dying on American soil because our government decided to bring in some crazy ass national terrorist from Afghanistan. That should never happen.
Change that of our lifetime.
Absolutely.
I understand why.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart.
Yeah.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.
Yeah, shit's crazy. What the comment section is saying. I'm curious. 1975, a Sagan was failing. Okay, this is north. Don't send the Guardian anywhere without weapons loaded with live ammo. I'm pretty sure they already have live ammo, right? I think a few Congo's women and men should be vetted. They hate America too, especially the ones in Minnesota. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, hopefully it gets better, and I hope it does not get worse because it probably will.